Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. It's 8 o'clock.
Abhishek Maharaj should be joining. He should be giving class first before the chanting. So maybe Vishnu Prabhu can chant till Maharaj shows up.
Yeah.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamya Krishna Prasthaya Bhusale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashata Desha Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Desha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shakti Gaura Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Prabhuji. So, Abhayji, could you be my responder?
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yasomadi Nandana Brajabara Nagara Kukula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajavara Nagar Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manogara Kaliya Tamana Vidana.
Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manohar Kaliya Damana Vidhana.
Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa.
Amal Harinam Amya Bilasa.
Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa.
Amal Harinam Amya Bilasa.
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vamsivadana Suvasa.
Vipina Purandara Nabina Nagarabar Bansi Badana Subasa.
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Kodana Raguvala.
Rajajan Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakhovala.
Govinda Madhava Navanida Taskara Sundarananda Gopala.
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskar Sundarananda Gopala.
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanagara Rasarasika Kripamoya.
Yamuna Tatchar Gopi Basanahara Rasarasika Kripamoya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Vati Vinodashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavar Bhakti Vinod Ashraya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Yasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagar Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakti Vinoda Shraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinod Ashraya.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yasoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Braja, the delight of Gokula, Kana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the life of gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure holy name of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastime. Krishna is the Lord of the 12 forest of Braja. He ever youthful and best of lovers. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of inhabitants of Braja. The destroyer of various demonic dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaj's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cows, lands, and spiritual senses, the husband of goddess of fortune, the butter thief and beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wandered along the bank of river Yamuna. He stole the garments of young damsels of Braja who were bathing there. He delights in the mellow of rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, the shelter and only refuge of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna.
So it appears that Maharaj is not going to join us. He promised me when I talked to him about just before 5 o'clock, that he is busy and tired, but he will be there 8 o'clock. I think his guest also arrived. So today is Rukmini Janmotsav. So Ram Gidari Prabhu, can we glorify Rukmini Devi? And if I can suggest, if you can, there's 7 verses, the request Rukmini Devi made to Lord Krishna in the 10th canto, 52nd chapter. There are 7 verses. If you desire, you can discuss that, or whatever is free, it's up to you. And otherwise we can, and then we can ask other devotees to share their realization. Sri Radha Vallabh Prabhu has already posted quite informative post about Rukmini Devi. So Ram Gidari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavats to everyone, all Worship Prabhupada. So it's very interesting that yesterday night only we discussed the same context from the 10th canto, 52nd chapter. So I will try to share some context from there. I mean, if you want the exact, 7 verses, it's okay. I'll honor that. It's from verse number 37. Rukmani is writing the letter. Probably we will read those 7 letters, and I just want to give a small context before that. Just the letter itself is glorious, and we can speak about it for days together. But the context is, number 1, how did Rukmini develop the love for Krishna? Because she has never seen Krishna. And it is explained that Bhishmaka, Rukmini's father, used to regularly invite Vaishnavas to their houses. And when Vaishnavas visited the houses, the Vaishnavas naturally don't talk Prajalpa or some worldly matters. So they have they constantly talk about Krishna, his activities, his pastimes, and Shastras. And that time Krishna was ruling Dwaraka. It is a culture that when there are senior devotees visiting, I think Prabhuji, Maharaj has joined.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna Maharaj. You are unmute, or you have to unmute yourself, Maharaj. We can hear.
We are not able to hear you, Maharaj.
Yes, now.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
So I thought we were going to miss you, but you kept your promise. Thank you.
Here we have the Yashodanandana.
Hare Krishna, welcome.
Jaya Krishna. And
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Well, welcome to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, we just arrived from Miami.
Yeah.
He was in Radhanath Bar's house some time ago. Jai Krishna
Well,
visited.
yeah. I was that day I was not here, but program was going on, I think. Yeah.
So we anyway they came and we pulled all the ingredients together. Yeah. Yashodanandana is not a cook. He doesn't cook food. He's a chef. He cooks cuisine. So everybody is rolling in ecstasy after his chutney.
Okay.
And anyway, that's what happened. Everything was going on. I kept asking what time it was, and then finally I missed it. So what? You have any questions for us?
Today is I requested you, Maharaj, that today is Rukmini Jayanti, so I thought you will speak few words. So Ramgidar Prabhu just started speaking about that letter Rukmini Devi wrote to Krishna.
Oh, wow.
Is that you're starting that the first line of that letter is Bhuvana Sundara Srimratamte. By hearing the glories of Krishna, and that's what Ramgidar Prabhu was just explaining, and then he saw you came on. So now you can wherever you want to take us.
I mean, it's too late for me. Everything else. Wow. But you can see we're all over here, and I haven't got anything really, special to say about Rukmini Devi that anybody else doesn't know. Just that in Vrindavan, Radharani's mood is prominent, and in Dwarka, Chandravali's mood is prominent. So Chandravali, Rukmini is an expansion incarnation of Chandravali, and Satyabhama is incarnation of Radha. So the different humors and moods are there, Yeah. But that's, I don't have anything special to say, I should, yeah. So anyway, the festival, everything, oh my God, everything is so nicely arranged and everything else, and setting everything else to come along. We power washed everything. We found all this beautiful paraphernalia. Brochures will be printed up. So we'll see. Now we see, like Rukmini's saying, you can get all dressed up. You can put on nice cosmetics and beautiful dresses, but if there's no Purusha Bhushana, the whole thing is a complete waste of time. It doesn't matter if the Purusha Bhushana doesn't show up. It rains tomorrow, then we'll go and camp out in Vijay's house. And have our festival. Yeah. So thank you all. Thank you very, very much. I'll go back and host our guests here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Maharaj.
12 years. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare
Okay.
Maharaj.
Okay, Ramgidar Prabhu, please.
Okay, so she was explaining, or the context here is that when the Vaishnavas visited the house of Bhishmaka, so they used to regularly discuss about the glories of the Supreme Lord. And when they used to discuss, that time Rukmini was a small child. So she used to go and serve the guests, give them some food, give them water, give them all their needs. And in the process, they hear the narrations. It is explained just by hearing the narrations from the self-realized souls visiting their house, she has developed attachment, affinity for Krishna, and she made up her mind. She is explaining in the first point of the letter, saying that having heard your qualities which enter the ears of those who hear, and it will remove the bodily stress and having heard of your beauty, which fulfills the visual desires, I fixed my shameless mind upon you. So, and there are, every word is so interesting. But the point I want to say is that how in Vedic culture, this system of Vaishnavas coming, visiting the house and serving them can actually give us access to Krishna. This is a very interesting thing. And I guess who else can be much more exemplary than our own Nitai Gaur Prabhu, who have been regularly, hosting Vaishnavas in their houses, in his house. And several times Matsya Mataji told me that their children grew up just by serving the Vaishnavas visiting the house. It is such a rich, rich culture. We don't need separate education. Gopala Bhatta Goswami became Gaudiya Vaishnava just because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited his house and he served. And hence it is, and I just want to, whilst the letter itself is glorious, I want to insist that it is imperative that we invite Vaishnavas to our house and serve. Let our children serve. And that way we will develop Krishna Prem. So Rukmini is saying that she developed her attachment just by hearing. Even Vrindavan Vasis, even Gopis, they had originally not seen Krishna. They had only heard about Krishna. Because the Gopis' friends or Gopis' brothers, family, when they used to see Krishna, they come home and discuss about Krishna. So when they keep hearing about Krishna, in fact, what used to happen is that every brother, when they come back home, so they used to describe, this is how Krishna dressed, this is how Krishna played, this is how Krishna did. So then when all the Gopis used to gather for fetching water, they used to exchange their notes. They used to exchange saying that how, what all they heard about Krishna and their level of love for him. So the point here is, the second aspect Rukmini is saying is, just by hearing about your beauty, we lose our, ourselves. She's saying that I have fixed my shameless mind. The reason she's using the word shameless mind is because she's confessing that I am writing a love letter and asking you to kidnap me. So the point is, our in Hindi they say औकात के बाहर जाते हैं कभी कभी. I'm not saying that Rukmini Mataji doesn't have, Rukmini Devi doesn't have the औकात, but the point is, by the etiquette, by the manners, by the the way by which the wedding has to happen, she's saying that I'm so captivated. So she has three problems. Problem number one, that Bhishmaka and Rukmi, more than Bhishmaka, Rukmi wanted Rukmini to get married to Shishupala. So which she does not want. She's going to say that. She's saying that I'm, it is like a jackal coming and attacking. So I do not want to, go after him. Number two, I naturally love you and I don't think anybody else I would need. And number three is, if for some reason you are not going to come and take me, I'm actually going to give up my life. So, so hence he's saying that she's actually giving the entire plan. How Krishna should come, where he should meet her, how he should kidnap her, and in that process, how she can have a happy, married life with him. So I was just laughing yesterday that, how Srimad Bhagavatam not only talks about some straightforward love, Srimad Bhagavatam also teaches us how to love Krishna in Adakara way also. So they loved so much Krishna that she is making plans to, elope with him. So this is the first prayer where he is Bhuvana Sundara, so beautiful, just by his looking at the form of the Lord, one gets completely captivated. Vrindavan Das Thakura writes this in Chaitanya Bhagavata. The darshan of the Lord can do three things. Number one, develop love for him. Number two, alleviate the unwanted things in the heart. So here it is said that, fatigue, or what you call as remove the bodily distress. It removes all the unwanted things in the heart. And third is, it installs compassion for all the other jivas. So hence we should take darshan of the Lord, and it can, take us places. The next shloka he says that, O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth, and influence. O lion among men, you delight the minds of all mankind. What aristocratic, sober-minded, and marriageable girl of a good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? She's saying that Krishna is the lion. Adaram maduram vadanam madhuram nayanam maduram hasitam maduram. So the all, wonderful characteristics, wonderful things, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth, influence. You're lion among men. So who in this world will miss you as a husband? There's a prayer, Andal Alvar, in one of her prayers. She is expressing her love for the Supreme Lord, how she is choosing. In fact, Andal's other name is called Sudi Kodutta Sudar Kodi. Every day she used to make garland for Narayana. She used to first wear herself, stand in front of the mirror, check her out. Then she used to offer it to the Supreme Lord. She had that much attachment and love for Krishna. She didn't even understand what etiquette means. She said that it's love and that's only love. In fact, she was questioned and her father was questioned. And there. Anyway, so the point here is no marriageable woman, no marriageable girl of good family. She's even actually stating this. No marriageable girl of a good family will choose anyone else but for a person like you. So if any girl chooses somebody who is of another character apart from that of a person coming in the lineage of Krishna, then it's something concerning. The next prayer is she saying, so therefore, my dear Lord, I have chosen you as my husband. She's not even giving an option. She's saying, I have chosen you and I surrender myself unto you. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, that Shishupala never touch the hero's portion like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. Shishupala is such a rascal. Eventually, Krishna killed him because Shishupala is so envious of Krishna. Anyway, that's another story by itself. But here you see the component of love. The component of love does not have any formality, does not have any etiquette, does not have any righteous, religious, procedural approach. Love means love. No other extra strings attached. She's saying, choose. I have chosen you as my husband. So, like a wife generally dictates, right? Naturally within a husband-wife relationship, wife has got some authority many a times out of the power in the relationship. She not just asks, she even sometimes expresses her need and make it compulsory. So Rukmini Devi already has assumed Krishna as her husband, and she's saying, please come swiftly. So jaldi aa bhai, warna kya ho jayega malum nahi. So amazing. 40, verse number 40. If I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead by pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals, and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, Brahmanas, and Gurus, then may Gadagraja come. May Gadagraja come and take my hand and not Dhamagosha's son or anyone else. This is a very, very profound, verse in the letter where it is not that she didn't have humility. She had a utmost humility, but the way she's expressing with so much of love, it comes out very well. She's now saying, I will only get you if I deserve. She's actually saying, do I deserve? If you come and take me, I will consider I deserving. And she is actually saying how to deserve Krishna. So in the 7 prayers, there's a prayer when this particular one says, for us to get Krishna, not that you just go and put $100 in the hundi and just ask Krishna to give you something. It is not Krishna who can be bought. She is very nicely expressing how she can, she an eligible candidate, can she get Krishna? What is she saying? If I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So before us even expecting Krishna to respond us, let us cross-check these points. Have we sufficiently worshipped Krishna? Have we done sufficient sacrifices? Have we done charity? Are we following rituals and vows? And how about worshipping demigods? Here, worshipping demigods is not like a Devata Puja. It is about looking after and respecting them, because generally there are family traditions. So we just respect them. Then worshipping Brahmanas who visit your house, gurus, then I will be qualified. So the point is that if somebody is not, Gada Agraja means Krishna, the elder brother of Balaram. Gada is one that Balaram holds. So Gada Agraja means Balaram's Krishna, the elder brother of Gada, not elder brother of Gada. Maybe I'm, I do not know what that is. So he's the brother of Balaram. That's my understanding. Maybe it's something else here. So, and he says, I do not want to marry Shishupala. Not only Shishupala, it is not about a hatred about Shishupal. It is about anyone, Shishupala or anyone else. So the agenda is not about this current marriage that is being planned at Rukmini's house. It is about getting rid of anyone else. Oh, unconquerable one, tomorrow when my marriage ceremony is about to begin, you should arrive unseen in Vidarbha and surround yourself with the leaders of your army. Then crush the forces of Chaitya and Magendradra and marry me in the Rakshasa style, winning me with your valor. Can you imagine somebody is giving such a plan? And that too, girl, 5,000 years before. We should make all our girls, read them. They should get some courage how to love Krishna, probably. So she's saying she knew the consciousness of Rukmi. Rukmi is very close friend of Shishupala, and Shishupala is already a rascal. So what do you think of Rukmi? So Rukmi is equally a rascal. That is why when Rukmini was kidnapped, Rukmi was chasing behind, and Krishna is already holding Rukmini. So Balaram came for rescue, and Balaram actually killed Rukmi. That is why, of course, Krishna did not kill Rukmi. Balaram killed Rukmi. So Balaram's another name is called Rukmiha. And here she's saying that how Krishna should come. So every girl doesn't want their, husband to be some sort of a kamzor, bichari type. They want them to be with very strong and, powerful with all courage. Come out in a very, flaunting way. So she is actually expressing that you come, fight with them, kidnap me. Prabhupada writes, as Srila Prabhupada points out in Krishna book, being born of royal blood, certainly had a brilliant grasp of political affairs. She advised Sri Krishna to enter the city alone and unnoticed and surround himself with the military commanders so he could do what was needed. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura compares the coming fight to Lord's churning of the ocean to extract the goddess Lakshmi. Gorgeous Rukmini, the goddess of fortune, would be gained in the coming turbulence. So it's amazing that how Krishna performs this pastime. Since I will be staying within the inner chambers of the palace, you may wonder, how can I carry you away without killing some of your relatives? But I shall tell you a way. On the day before the marriage, there is a grand procession to honor the royal family's deity. And in this procession, the new bride goes outside the city to visit goddess Giriraja. Gosh. So she is giving further plan so that Krishna know. Krishna, she is already, making sure that no questions are required. It's all clearly laid out plan. So maybe Krishna will worry how to kill. Oh, she is going to be my wife. And if I kill the relatives, my name will get spoiled. She's giving all Samadhan Batari. So she's already saying, come and kidnap me when I am in the worship of temple. The last one. Oh, lotus-eyed one, great souls like Lord Shiva, hankered bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. तीन बातें हैं. Number one, I am not doing something which is whimsical. Several Vaishnavas have demonstrated how to achieve you. I am walking their path. Number two, I am not going to, if I'm not going to get you, I'm not giving up. Krishna को request किया, नहीं आया मैं शिश वाला से शादी करूंगी. ऐसा नहीं है. She decided to marry Krishna. I will get Krishna, like Dhruva Maharaj. I want Krishna, nothing else, nothing less than him. And for that, I will perform the necessary penances, necessary, tapasya. That is the mood. The mood is Krishna, nothing less than him. So that is what Prabhupada has taught us. Krishna, nothing less than him. Krishna, nothing less than him. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura writes in, give the commentary to the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi verse. He says that the verse Vyavasayatmika Buddhi actually refers to not just single-pointedly focus on the devotional process. It is actually focusing that the sadhaka's goal is to make spiritual masters' mission as his life and soul. And that is, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So we are very fortunate to be in the association of wonderful devotees where all these things that has been described are possible. Let's take advantage of it. And Rukmani Dwadasi ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, anyone else has? We have a few more minutes to go. Anybody else? We have been to Pandharpur and seen that it's kind of second Dwarka. Maharaj was describing Loknath Maharaj and the Rukmani Dwarkadhish, wonderful temple there. And Maharaj was also there, saying that in Kundinagram, there's a Skan temple. And when they got that in between where Rukmini was kidnapped, that place, middle between the goddess, the Durga temple and palace. And there were, before when the Skan got the property, they had 5 kadamba trees. There's no kadamba trees in whole state, Vidarbha and Maharashtra, that only that place. And Maharaj was saying that when Dwarkadhish came, he must have kadamba mala and some seed fell there. And now they said, Maharaj was saying that there were whole garden of kadamba, so many kadamba trees are there. Ramdev, have you been there? Kundinagram, Skan?
No, Prabhu.
It's 2 hours from Nagpur.
I have been to Pandharpur several times, but
yeah, Pandharpur. We were there about when we were there. And we were there 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
No, specific village they are telling I don't remember.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah,
I think 4 years before, Prabhu.
4 years there, 2 years before. 4 years, yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Beautiful temple. So anyone else to share about Rukmini? That Prabhu was saying that this verse, Rukmini starts with her letter, Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundar Shrunatamte. That's what we should be focusing on. Hearing about Bhuvana Sundar, Krishna. Himladat, Madhav Prabhu, Vishwanath Prabhu, anyone has any other comments? And anybody else? I'm not calling the name. Shri Radhavalla Prabhu, you have anything to add? It's already 8:45, so we can have some more, few more extra minutes. If somebody,
So Rukmini ji is very submissive compared to Satyabhama, who's a little feisty. So that's more Radharani. But so there was one story where Krishna was just playing around with Rukmini ji and told her that she should really be, that he's not deserving of her, and she belongs to such a high class Kshatriya, and he's very low class, like, he's from like the Gop class, the Yadu, and just a cowherd man, and she made a mistake by marrying him. So when she heard that, she fainted because she couldn't bear the thought of separation from Krishna. She thought that he was serious. So that shows how submissive she was, and then Krishna had to, tell her that it's just a joke.
he said that I wanted to see your anger, but she did not get angry. She will, being submissive, she just fell. And but then when Krishna was giving the Rukmini ji was giving him answer, she replied every point. Krishna told him how he does not, she did not deserve him. She every point by point, she refuted it. So wonderful. So she was submissive, but when time came, she could show her battle. Yeah. Anyone else? Shri Radhavalla Prabhu, Madhav Prabhu, Tandika Prabhu, anyone? Premlata? These are people who talk, so they're not unmuting themselves. So. No? Tandika Prabhu, you don't have any remnants from the Pandharpur Yatra? You went there 2 times.
Yes.
To take the darshan. Yeah.
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 I have one more story where when Sudama came, and Krishna asked him what he brought for him. And then he said, I have some chuda. So he started eating the chuda, and then he gave some to Rukmini ji as well. And then so during that time, he wanted to give, but I think that Rukmini asked Krishna not to take any more, because
Second after when he was going to take second bite,
right,
whatever, yeah, she stopped.
that's Krishna will not be able to repay the Sudama's love, because he would have to give everything up.
Okay. So again, last call, Madhav Prabhu, Radhavalla Prabhu, Hemlata. Anyone who is going to unmute himself and share with us their realization about Rukmini Devi. Okay,
Yeah, wasn't it before that Krishna, after defeating 17 times Jarasandha, is it?
Mm-hmm.
He leaves the battlefield, and it is generally considered as a cowardice to do that, and he's also called as Ranachod. But
yeah, we have
actually
temple in Gujarat, Ranchod Temple, where I used to live in Baroda. Across the street, we had Ranchod Temple. Yeah.
But he actually did it to go because he got Rukmini's letter. So
no, that was the little letter. That was not because he left, because he wanted to. He wanted to liberate Muchukunda and everything. So that was much later on. That has nothing to. Is that right, Ramgadari Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with Rukmini's letter.
That is
okay.
Ranachor is associated with Muchukunda pastime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, last call. Radhavalla Prabhu, Madhav Prabhu. Nobody is going to unmute. Okay, then Shachan Prabhu, let's.
I'm driving, Prabhu, so that's why.
Oh, okay, so that, okay, you're not being crippled. Okay, you're driving, so they drive safely. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Okay.
Mother Prabhu unmuting himself? No, he is. Yeah, he's not
Hare
being crippled
Krishna,
either. Thank you.
Dandavat Assembled Vaishnava. So I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know much about Rukmini ji. Of course, whatever Vishnu Charan Prabhu described, I had heard that story. So anyway, the childhood story, but Ram Girdhari Prabhu, in those 7 verses, when what you suggested and he kind of summarized so beautifully, I've never heard those things. So for me, it was all these descriptions were completely new. So I relished so much the way Ram Girdhari Prabhu described Rukminiji's, how she got married. And of course, he described with a lot of references and how one should get Krishna, and one must be determined to get Krishna, nothing less than that, as he emphasized, Prabhupada always says. So again, this tells us that we should be determined. Why shouldn't we be determined to get the best of the best? So materialists, sometimes they work their butt off and to get the best of the best materially, right? So I think this is no comparison. So there's a great lesson from Rukmini ji, so that we should really incorporate in our daily sadhana. That's the focus. I want to get Krishna, nothing less than that. So that's the tremendous story, and it was so much realizable. I thank you, Ram Girdhari Prabhu, so much, and I learned a lot. I've never heard these things, and you, Prabhuji, you directed these 7 verses. I have heard some story, but I never knew. First time I heard about this. So thank you so much. This is the beauty of Sadhu Sangha. So I can hear sitting, doing nothing. I can relish the blissful pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. What can be better than this? It's tremendous. Dandvat Pranam to Vaishnavas, all the Vaishnavas gathered.
That's why
Thank
we
you
need
so much.
Ram Girdhari Prabhu more often, not less. And he has been very kind. He has been coming on.
So
Thank you, Ram Girdhari Prabhu.
I think yes, you are right, Prabhuji, and I think hearing, that's what is emphasized time after time after time after time, limitless hearing. It starts from hearing from a pure devotee, and there, that is where attachments develop. So this is our great sadhu sangha. We are learning this, how to stay focused, keep listening, and someday I think we will develop attachment to the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. So we are very blessed to have your all's association. I thank you all so much, letting me relish daily Bhagavad Katha. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. So that on that note, I will like to remind that we will not have our Zoom satsanga tomorrow because we're doing in-person Narsingha Chaturdashi at Maharaj's place. So we'll not have to, but we will meet again on Sunday. Continue the second chance, chapter 14.
Okay, I have one more story about Rukmini.
Okay, why not?
So we have to credit the Rukmini for the appearance of Jagannath ji, because she had intense desire to learn about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, in Dwarka. So all the Dwarka, Krishna's wives, they wanted to know. So they had Kunti tell the story, but they didn't want Krishna or Balaram to come because then there would be they would be very saddened because they were missing Vrindavan. So they wanted to be outside. So they asked Subhadra to guard the door so that no one would disturb the storytelling. And then but Krishna and Balaram found out, and they wanted to come, and they started hearing from the door. and they were so amazed that their eyes, blew up, and that's when Naraji came and took a picture of that. That form of Krishna, and asked him to bestow mercy on the fallen souls of the Kali Yuga and appear for us in that form. So Rukmaniji had a big role to play in that appearance.
Thank you for reminding that story, Richard. Okay.
All right. Yak chakshur esha savita sakala grahanam Raja samasta suramurta shesha tejaha Yasagnaya brahmati samvrata kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami Yashakshur esha savita sakala grahanam Raja samasta suramurta shesha tejaha Yasagnaya brahmati samvrata kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami Yakshakshur esha savida sakala grahanam Raja samasta suramurti shesha tejaha Yasagnaya brahmati samvrata chala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami Yakshakshur esha savita sakala grahanam Raja samasta suramurti ashesha tejaha Yasagnaya brahmati samvrata kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. The sun, who is the king of all the planets, full of infinite effulgence, the image of the good soul, is as the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheel of time. Namaste Narasimhaya Pratalapadayine Hiranyakashitu Vakshaha Ilatankanakhalaya Ito Narsiko Parato Jai Jagdish Hare Avakara Kamala Varenaka Altarenga Dalila Hirana Kashikodana Bringa Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jai Jagdish Hare Jai Jagdish Hare Jai Jagdish Hare Jaya Naralingale
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so that concludes this evening's program. If everyone will go ahead and unmute themselves or recite the Vaishnava Pranam prayer.
Hare Krishna.
Everyone. Thank you.